Okay, well, good night again. All right, so this is part two of the wrong, the wrong decree, wrong identity. I don't know what else to call it because it's just amazing that when God speaks to you and tells you that you have to do what he tells you to do, you just have to do what he tells you to do. Okay, the wrong decree came in this way. People made a decree before they even asked God. Wrong identity. You're messing with the wrong person. Wrong identity. Okay? You've done your judgment on your own and don't even understand that God watches everything. Everything, everything. So when you get up to judge people, be careful who you judge. You judge someone who's on assignment and you're getting in trouble. Guaranteed that you'll be in trouble. Okay? Let me add this one in. Kevin Kish did not know that someone was watching him. He finds himself in the same category as the Denny Carter, Jennifer King, Marvin Winans, Donnie McClurkin, Don, Marvin Sapp, Chris Ocleomi, Hillary French, Diola Phillips. All of you find yourself in the same situation with your listening device and camera. And you don't understand that what happened is the envy and the jealousy, the covetousness. And covetousness is a terrible thing. You came to judge, so you were the judges. Well, wow, what a judge. Judges who God consider as prostitutes. The two prostitute sisters. No judge can judge in a court and is a prostitute. No, no. The prostitute is usually the defendant, the one who comes to defend, but not judge. A sorcerer cannot be a judge. Be careful how you judge. Be careful. So Kevin Kish did not know that someone was watching him as he was watching me inside of the house in Mount Hope, where Marvin Winans was watching, Donnie McClurkin was watching, everybody was watching. Everybody was. And Kevin Kish was watching, but he didn't know somebody was watching him. You got to be careful what you do. Marvin Winans sent Denny Carter to sleep, like I said, to sleep with the husband that I was married to. I don't understand. I'm trying to process. My brain is trying to process the thing, right? How can you do something like that when someone is still married? And if a man sent you to do something, why would you take a ring from him? You're too desperate. You were too desperate. Jennifer King placed clothes in our toilet. Well, I didn't give her anything to drink while she was staying in the house. I did not give her anything to drink to make her crazy. I did not do witchcraft on her. I didn't do any form of voodoo. I didn't do anything like that because I don't do that. I pray for you. I don't do those things. So for her to put the clothes in the child's toilet, then maybe you were trying to help, but that's not a good way to help because maybe you were trying to flood the place to give us a message to say there is a device in the house, but that was not a good way to do it. Now, see how I can pin things back because I know how to collect evidence. Based on my evidence experience, I studied evidence. Okay, a part of my legal programs that I studied, I know how to collect evidence. I know criminal law, right? I know legal research. I know how to find everything that I need to find. I did title searching for years, so I've been a title researcher for 10 years. 10 years. There's nothing that you can really put out there that I won't know how to find. Not so easy. Not so easily. So you caused the flooding in the house. You can't tell me you didn't. Jennifer King cannot look at me and tell me she did not. She sent a woman to place to a public toilet, a public bathroom in Dorchester. That's in Ontario. So she's been sending someone across the border. See how you can do things to go back to the evidence so we can find the original evidence, and put it in the process, and the right context and the right contents that it needs to be in so we can get the final evidence. So she sent someone across the border. And the girl came and she put jeans pants in the people's toilet and it blocked up the whole thing. So their toilets have been out of use. I mean, I think it's six on one side and six on the other side. And they've been out of use. I spoke to the people myself. 3 different times they said they got the plumber to come in. And though they plumb, it couldn't work because the person kept on sticking stuff in different toilets. Then if you're going to use your sorcery in somebody's head, drive the person crazy to come and do something like that, are you telling me that you're sane? Are you in your right mind? I spoke to the people myself. And the lady explained. I said, tell me, what is it you found in there? Because I heard when the Lord said clothes. They stuffed clothes in there. It's amazing that the clothes went down, but it's just only a matter of time before it started flooding. And so that's exactly what happened. Why would I not believe that you put it in the toilet, in the child's toilet? Of course, I know you did. Because the Lord said to me, she put clothes in there. And the people who came when the place was flooded, they didn't want to talk. And I got someone to go talk to someone, right? I don't know if they bribed the person. I don't know what they did, but I know they got the information. It wasn't my clothes. And I'm the only woman who lived in the house. It wasn't my clothes. So you went back home without a piece of clothes. And I got to identify it. Careful how you mess with people. And be careful who you mess with. Just be careful who you mess with. No, I am watching this thing, and the Lord told me to go to a certain place and sit there to an A&W. And He said, go to the A&W and sit there. That's where I'm putting you for now. So when you go there, you're going to observe. And I sat there one day and someone brought a fentanyl, a pink fentanyl. I didn't know that fentanyl comes in different colors, but the person dropped it at my foot. When I went there to sit down, there was nothing there. When I turned around, when the Lord said, turn around, and I turned around and looked, there was a fentanyl right there. It's right in the time that I was talking about the fentanyl because I saw what was going on. And then there was a fentanyl patch right in the people's bathroom. Who sent it? The Lord said, Jennifer King sent it. He said, Donnie McClurkin's prostitute. Exactly what he said. So I'm saying it just like he said it. Because Donnie McClurkin is acting like he and Jennifer King are not into anything, but they are. I'm not asking. So I spoke with the workers and they confirmed to me that is true. Yes, we saw it. We cleaned it up. So yes, it was there. I'm not asking. Jennifer King got Tate McMillan, who was a property manager at the house that we were in Strathroy. And we watched Tate digging through, digging through the hole and putting in the device. And I said, God, what is this? But I had a dream. That's why I know when a dream comes from God as opposed to when it comes from man. And I had the dream. And she basically, in the dream, she was talking in his head. He was shaking his head as if he's going crazy. And then he got the thing and he went there. When I look at the time between the 8th of December that we moved into the place and then the 10th of December that he sent an email, and I made sure I was the one who corresponded with him by email just to make sure I have a trail, because I'm like that. I'm detail oriented and I collect trails. So the date that he gave, that he was coming in to inspect the house, I said, this is very strange. Why would somebody want to come in and inspect a house after you just moved in? We went to pick up the keys, and I said to him, we didn't bring anything because our stuff are in storage in Windsor. That's Windsor, Ontario. Because during the pandemic, the stuff or furniture were in storage for the whole time. So I said, why would you be coming to inspect the house? Inspection is done before. I worked in property and mortgage, so I had to deal with properties. So I know what that's like. You inspect the property before. I bought houses, I rent houses. So I know what it's like. You inspect before the people go in to live. Once I see an email telling me that the inspect is coming in to inspect, I say, God, you got to talk to me quick. I'm not eating anything until you talk to me. And the Lord said, he's coming in to put the device in. He's putting in the device before the camera comes in and before the doorbell camera and the camera around the house. So we had camera around the house, right around the house, and the doorbell camera. But he's coming in to put it in before that. So the guy from the doorbell company called to say that there is a delay. I said, there is a delay. Because Tate needed to come in and put in the stuff. Well, we watched. But that fool opened his mouth and told Vernon that he should not leave me by myself because I made some serious allegations and he thinks I'm out of my mind. Well, guess what happened? He's out of his mind because we watched. Oh, you're not going to get away with this one. Not this one. I had a device from we were living in Mount Hope. I had that device. I collected a device from somebody and I asked somebody to come in and put in a device in there because I'm going to catch Jennifer King again because I caught her when she was putting the device in Terry's house in Windsor. And I said, I'm going to catch her again because she looks like she's not finished. And I invited somebody into the house. And while we were going to get the person, I heard the voice of someone said, I don't want to watch anybody else naked. That was Donnie McClurkin. It was so plain. I don't want to watch anybody else naked. By the time we left, an airplane flew over. I sent someone to fly over. That's what happened when you think you're the only one who have access to airplanes. And someone flew over and followed him. And he was the one who went in the plane. Didn't want to watch anybody else naked. I'm the one he wants to watch naked. Just imagine these are the people who came into the house, mess up marriage, mess up family life, and then they want to come and take over. How dare you think you can mess up a marriage and then come and take over the wife? You're stupid. And a stupid woman would allow that, but not me. Because you mess with my testimony when I had to go through a divorce. So you wouldn't mess with my testimony again, another level of my testimony for me to go be with you after you destroy a marriage. And I know that the plan was to destroy me because he doesn't like people with prophetic voices. And Jennifer King confirmed it. She said he does not like prophets. Well, guess what happened? He said, before I was in my mother's womb, I didn't choose me and I didn't choose me. I didn't chose me, bad talking, and I didn't choose me. God chose me. And I can't tell him that he can't do what he says he wants to do with me because it was before I was in my mother's womb that he did what he did. Good. I only got a name to seal the deal. So it didn't matter what happened, I had to walk into the anointing. I couldn't prevent it because I didn't create myself. I wasn't supposed to be born. The doctor said no. My mother said, if this one doesn't come, the other three won't. So I know the enemy will use every kind of fool that he can get. But why would you fall in the category of fools? Like even an educated woman like Denise Carter is supposed to be educated because she has a doctoral degree. How can you be how can you have a doctoral degree and you're so foolish? Check yourself. Desperation causes it. Desperation. So you keep placing device from one house to the next. And while you're placing device from one house to the next, look how many houses. It's 20 years. How can you be doing something like this to someone for 20 years? And you have no remorse and you're still acting like you want to be bad bullies. But don't you know that I'm the person who will stand up to you? Because I'm anointed for this. I'm not afraid of witches. I'm not afraid of warlocks. I'm not. I'm not afraid of people. I'm not afraid of court. I had to go through it. And the judge is dead because God killed her. Because he said, I said, touch not my anointed. And I didn't care who it was, whether they say they're saved or not. I said, touch not my anointed ones. And don't you do my prophets any harm. Don't do my mouthpiece any harm. I don't care if you don't think that's who God told me to be or who he chose me to be. I didn't choose myself. I had to go by God's choice. But I don't know how you feel when you keep putting device from one place to the next. Because you sound like you have no remorse. And you think you want to run around and watch me naked in every kind of bathroom, washroom, everywhere. If I go in a public one, you follow me. Well, something's wrong with you. So you need to sit down and examine your sick brain because something is definitely wrong. You're not in your right mind. But at least you can say, God, show me what is it that I'm doing wrong? And why am I on this person so much? Because it doesn't make sense you envy me for the anointing on my life because I didn't anoint myself. It doesn't make sense you envy me for what God has done in me because I didn't do it to myself. I'm just the recipient and I walk in holiness. And that's not going to change. So when you're shifting papers, I saw in the spirit and I saw in my sleep, you're shifting papers and somebody's shifting names and trying to change up stuff and all that kind of stuff. Just remember, it's going to backfire on you. Whatever your plans are, it's going to backfire. Denny Carter spoke in people's heads at Revenue Canada to say, I'm on disability. Well, I don't have a disability, so I can't get the $1,300 because I don't have a disability. And I'm in a better mental frame than you are, the whole bunch of you. And I'm not afraid to tell you that because you've done enough to hurt me, but you couldn't break me. You've done enough to hurt me, but you could not break me because I'm unbreakable. I wasn't created to be broken because I didn't create myself. God created me for a purpose. The time that you're spending messing with me so much, when over 1,000 people in all those different locations got saved yesterday. You can't you can't tell me that you got that done. God gets the glory, but you cannot tell me that you got it done. You can't. So Jennifer King, you need to sit down and keep yourself quiet. If I wasn't speaking how God tells me to say it, I would have said to you, keep your tail quiet because you're wagging your tail too much like a dog. So keep yourself quiet. Shut your internal voice and shut up your external voice because you don't think that God is going to deal with you. He's not done with you. He's not. And you shouldn't let him really do anything more because you and Tate were lying in the bed. You know why? Because he said in Isaiah 13, Babylon will be ravished. Don't you tell lie on God's anointed. Don't you tell lies on someone who speaks when the person speaks exactly what God says. Because of course he will get you. You drink it until craziness hits you. And he said the same person that you've been using, you're going to be in the bed with a person. It had to happen because you wouldn't listen. And God don't play when it comes to me. He said, if you touch me, you touch the apple of his eyes. If you touch my child, you touch the apple of his eyes. And if you touch Vernon, which you did, you touch the apple of his eyes. You know why? Because Vernon is on assignment. But you think you could get him weak because Danny McClurkin keep messing with him? And Marvin Winans mess with his income. When you mess with a man's money, that's when you mess with him. Well, let me tell you something. Just remember, you might not have one that you're attached to, but God will make sure you don't have a dime or a dollar. For all the places that you broke into and messed with my workshops and my schedules, Denny Carter, just remember, yeah, you might be hiding and working under somebody, but just remember, God will take that income just the same. You mess with my MBA while I was doing MBA and erasing stuff. You don't know somebody was watching you and the person track you straight back to your home address. You got to be careful what you do. There are people who are brighter than you, people with more wisdom than you. Be careful when you touch God's anointed. He said, touch not my anointed ones. Don't do my prophets any harm. He didn't ask you if you agree. He said, don't. He didn't ask you if you're in agreement with him. He gave a command. It's a command. He said, so I kill kings for them. I make famine come upon them. So he doesn't ask permission. He didn't ask you if you were to touch his anointed. He didn't ask you, do it. Should I do this if you touch my? He said, I said, do not touch my anointed ones. You didn't anoint me. I showed up at your church anointed, doing the work for God way before I showed up there. When I showed up there, I only came to show myself, like the Lord said, go show yourself to the priests, the sorcerers. And then he said, they need help, help them. And I was helping. But you took my love for granted and you took my meekness for weakness. I'm not weak. And you took my help and mess with it. And you won't get it anymore. No, you won't. No, you won't. So don't even come for a word. I was the one that the Lord said would have to pray for you people for you to get your deliverance. But I'm not doing it. And I told the Lord, I'm not doing it. So he wouldn't even dare send me because I wouldn't go. And I wouldn't do it because you've done enough damage. And I don't give people second chances. I've watched enough. So You can't expect to break up marriage. You can't expect to do what you did and expect that God is going to allow you to thrive. You cause me to go without, because some of you think I'm not supposed to be doing a business. I did business before. I did. I was in business. I always had a business with a full time job. I'm not lazy. But I know some of you with your lazy bum, you want to sit down there and collect off people. I must work and you collect. And you don't think I deserve what I'm supposed to be getting at this point in time. And I'm not supposed to be writing so many books. You are the ones giving me the books to write. You're the fools. I'm writing because of fools. Because the Lord said, prove to the fools that they're fools. So the more trouble you cause, the more books you give me to write. The more you make my intellect and my creativity go to work. So you're the fools. So if you don't want me to write anymore, stop being foolish. Good. But you still won't stop me because I have a mandate that I have to follow. I do. I came there loving. I didn't come there hating anybody. But you took my love for granted. Marvin Winans did. God is smooth. The minute he said God is smooth, I said, okay, well, guess what happened? Here is the twist. You're going to see smoothness match you. Good. I said, because I can be a Jacob to handle you. Be careful who you mess with. I know I came in looking soft and sweet, and that's who I am. But when you push me, I don't take a push and stay pushed. That's just one thing with me. I love people the first time I see them. But the first greeting I got from Deneen Carter is to stay in your lane. I didn't come for the gentleman that you wanted. I came there with a wedding band on my finger. And the things that you spoke in the person's head while you had him locked away somewhere hidden. And every time that he tried to get out, you make sure you push him back into it. You didn't know we were watching. I wasn't in agreement with you, but people were watching. Just know that the eyes of the Lord are on the righteous. I don't know what the envy was for, but Marvin Winans just wanted a different wife. Wasn't you that he wanted. So you're sleeping with your enemy. I'm not sleeping with my enemy. Sure won't. But when God tells me to give the word, when he tells me to, I got to do what he tells me. Right here, I'm going to end this part two. I think I have another piece that I need to finish off because I have to do what the Lord tells me to do. So, on this note, I'm going to end. And for those of us who are going up, so we can get over on the other side, I say, God is doing a different thing. You go up and on the other side. How many people can go up at this point? Witches can't. So, why do you want to live like a witch? Sorcerers can't. So, why does Marvin Winans and Donnie McClurkin and Marvin Sapp and Chris O'Cleome and the whole bunch of, why you want to live as a sorcerer? Sorcerers don't have a place with God. No, you don't. You don't. So we're going up and over on the other side. Some will be left behind, but I sure know I won't be. So I end this for right here, and then I'll come back with part three and finish it off. So have a great and wonderful night. Goodbye.